Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Journey from 1975 to 2025. Yes, this is a podcast about people who are turning 50 this year. They were born in 1975, and this year, 2025, we are celebrating our 50th birthdays. We get to have conversations to find out how people what they've experienced in the 50 years, what they're looking forward to, and most importantly, what it means to them to be turning this big age of 50. So today I am so happy and delighted to be chatting with my friend Trish. Trish lives in Johannesburg, South Africa, and we have actually only met one time. Right, Trish? Hello,
Yes,
Trish.
we only met once, at a mutual friend's wedding.
I know, and we clicked.
And we clicked. Oh, yes, let's not forget we were roomies, Bertha.
Listen, we went from 0 to 100 with this
Ex-
friendship, right?
exactly.
Well, thank you so much for agreeing to come here and, trusting me really
No,
for us
thanks
to have this
for even
conversation.
suggesting to talk to me. I'm pretty excited about it.
So you and I are in the same boat. We
Mm-hmm.
are yet to hit 50.
True,
So we're
true.
still on our journey to 50. How's that journey been? Like how's 2025 been for you? This journey towards 50, this final sprint to 50.
Whew, that's a good question, hey? So 2025, you know what? Let me be honest. 2025 has started off on a good note. It did start off on a good note. And it's been a good year. And it's been a year where I've been very conscious that I am turning 50. I've had friends who've turned 50 already this year. So that's also, just emphasized it more.
Constant reminder.
Just that reminder, like, so this is
Right.
it. We are really turning 50 this year. Um, but the year itself, like I said, it's just started off on a good note and it's still going good. And
That's awesome.
as I've watched other people turn 50, the more excited I've also gotten about it. Like, okay, my turn is coming. It's happening. It's actually happening. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it has been amazing watching people celebrate their 50th. I know I've been in what, at least three celebrations this year for folks who've been turning 50, and it just makes me imagine how my time is gonna be.
Yeah, but at least you know what you're doing already.
I do.
I don't yet.
I've been planning for too long. That's the crazy part.
But I don't know what I'm doing yet.
What do you mean you don't know? What do you okay, when you think about the day,
Yes.
what's your perfect day to celebrate that milestone?
I
What
would
would be your perfect
love a dinner, a really fancy dress up dinner.
day?
Um, with, really close people.
Mhm.
Nothing big, but people who've been in my life.
Intimate.
Meaningful. Something intimate, if I can put it
Mhm.
that way.
I like that.
Yeah.
Well,
And
we hope one of those people is listening, right? So they
yes.
can start pulling people together because you
Yeah.
guys have heard the wish. So now it's just a matter of making it happen.
Make it happen. Yeah. Yeah. I think so. Yeah. That's one thing I've imagined,
Mhm.
and some really fancy, really dress up dinner. And then maybe before the dinner, I would also love to do something fun with those same people.
Right.
So
Right.
I think this is what I'm trying to figure out now. Like, what can we do? Maybe we can make it a weekend thing, where the one day we find something fun to do, and then the next day we maybe then have the the dinner. I'm thinking along those lines.
Well, you could do a day of, because you guys are in South Africa, so, and you're in December, so the weather would be nice if you do it in South
That's it.
Africa, right?
Yes.
The weather
True.
would be,
True.
um, you could do a weekend where you do Cape Town or something, get
Mm-hmm.
go winery and do
Yeah,
something
just
like
spend
that.
the weekend away. Yeah, true. True.
But yeah, no, just being, catered to, just for you to be catered to. Maybe you can have a pampering day. You can
Yeah,
do a
that's also
day
an
in a
option.
sauna, as you build up to the luxurious dinner.
Yeah, true. True.
But yeah, I'm full of ideas, so I'm very, very dangerous in that
I see
aspect.
that. I like.
But as I said, it's one of those things where I hope somebody who's part of that inner circle is definitely listening and paying attention so they can make it happen for you.
True.
So with you turning 50, is there anything that when you think back to growing up and let's say we imagined ourselves at this age, and I don't think I ever imagined myself at 50, right? But if you're looking back and we had those uncles, those aunts, our parents when they were this age, do you see yourself the same?
I don't. I really don't. And but like you're saying, we never imagined being 50.
Right.
And I don't know if at any point I knew anyone who was turning 50 when I was young. I don't know if, I would
Mm,
know I've got the older uncles and aunts, right? But no, I don't remember any of them ever celebrating these milestone birthdays like we do these days.
mm, mm.
So you
Well, I
would
think it's
just know there's an older uncle and older aunt, but you would actually never know their
it
age.
was never defined.
Eh?
It was never defined how
No,
old
it
they
was
were.
never
They were just
defined.
older, and that was it.
So I can't even compare, like, who do I compare who I knew back then? Like, oh, I
Hmm.
remember when Aunt so and so turned 50. I don't
Right.
know. There's no one that comes to mind right now that I
Right.
can actually
Well,
remember and say, oh, yes, I remember. And what did I think? I don't know because they were not celebrating like we do. It was never defined. You're so right.
it's kind of like we were talking about earlier, where we talked about how I think back then, right, they
Mm-hmm.
were living to survive. But
Yeah.
I think one thing that for us now, we are living. We
We are
get to a
living. You're
certain
so
age.
right.
We get to a certain age, and we're now doing things to live. Like I think that mindset has shifted.
It definitely has. Like I did mention earlier, like we are living, we think about healthy stuff. I need to go to the gym, I need to
Hmm.
walk, I need to exercise. Whereas back in the day, I'm assuming that some of these aunties that we thought were really old were probably maybe even 40.
Their
You know what I'm saying?
30s.
But they were yes, they were just surviving.
Hmm.
They were
Yeah.
surviving. They were not living. So we I just feel we can't even compare ourselves with them.
Well, and you have a huge milestone because you have two grandbabies, don't you?
Yes. So for me, 50 is a real milestone. I'll be honest. I can't even imagine, or I can't even say that I ever thought about at what age I'll be a
A
granny. To be
grandmother.
honest,
I know.
it's something I never even thought about. Because I'm assuming I thought, always grannies are what usually in their 60s, 70s, But
Gray
here I
hair.
am, made a grandmother 5 years ago at 45.
45. Wow.
And so my first grandson, he turns 5 this year, a month before my birthday, as before my 50th.
Milestone birthdays, both of you.
Yeah, so I've been joking about it with my daughters, like maybe me and him we have 05 and a 50. A
You can hold
cake
on to his
05
balloons.
and then a 50.
flip the cake. Just buy one cake
What?
and then flip the
Yeah, and then we
numbers.
just, yeah, if you look at it upside down, it's 50. If you look at the other way, it's 0.5 or something.
That's funny. That is cute.
Yeah, but yeah, so yeah, no, for me, but still, can I say I feel 50? No.
What does 50 feel
This is
like?
it. This, I think that's the biggest question. What does 50 feel like? Is it supposed to feel a particular way?
Mm, I don't
Because I
know.
really honestly I cannot sit here and say I feel 50, because I think why I say that is because we've always thought 50 to be old,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and I don't feel old. So I think maybe that's just why we don't feel 50.
Yeah, it doesn't I'm as excited as I've been to turn 50.
Yeah.
There's certain things that don't check the box
Mm-hmm.
for 50 as the 50 that we've historically known, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So, like you said, the fact that we still are very active, we go to the
True.
gym. Well,
Mm-hmm.
I say we, like I've been to the gym in a while. But yeah, we'll
Yeah,
just
no,
say
no, no,
we
don't
go to
worry.
the gym.
Both of us.
I'll just say we go to the gym. Like yeah,
Yeah, our
we.
people.
Like this year, I am planning on jumping out of a plane at some point in this year of 2025. Those are activities that I think our parents never got the opportunity to
Opportunity.
do
Mm,
because, again, I think it was that survival mode. We just need to get these kids through to the next step
hmm.
and figure out about the next thing. But about
True.
you being a grandma at 45, how did you feel about that? Because
Okay, so
honestly, it's been one of my biggest fears, if I can put it that way.
hmm.
Just honestly, it has been a fear with these children.
Yeah, yeah. You're right. It was a fear before I actually became one. Um, and having daughters as well, even worse for me. I've got two daughters. So it was always a fear. And then when it actually did happen, to find out that my eldest daughter at the time, she was 24, was pregnant. It came as a great shock. It was a lot of disappointment, because she wasn't married to this guy, you know? And because I had raised both of them as a single mom,
Right.
I never wanted either one of them to ever take that route as well, you know? So I think for me, that's where the disappointment came in. Like, you watched me being a single mom. You watched how tough
Right.
that was. And I'm feeling you are choosing to go down that route as well.
Making it seem like a choice. Yeah.
Like, yes. And so that, yeah, I struggled with that. I really, really struggled with it. And the thing is, as much as, and when I look back as well, she was 24, like I said. And when I look back, I was even worse. I,
I was about to ask you that. How
yes,
old were you when you had her? Yeah.
yeah, I myself fell pregnant at 19,
Yep.
gave birth at 20.
Right.
So all that now, it just messes you up like, is this a curse? What is this?
Yeah. Well, how have you reconciled that for yourself?
So, fortunately, then when it happened, my mom was still alive. I think she helped me a lot to accept it. Let me put it that way, to accept it, because I was failing to accept it. And I think my mom helped me. She sat me down and she says, "No, this is what has happened. This is what's there. She's 24. You've raised her well. She's gone through school. She's done what she needs to do.
She's an
Let's just
adult.
take this as a blessing." So yeah, you just accept it. One thing I loved about her, she never threw it in my face that, how about you?
Right.
She
Right.
never did that. Never. To say, but what, remember what you did.
Remember what you did
Yeah,
exactly.
no, she never. She actually just made me see what a blessing it had been, how I'd done the best that I could. And let's just look at this as a blessing.
Well, and you know what? If nobody else has told you this, you also got her past the age, right? So it wasn't anything that was being recycled.
Yes, yeah. So I
You got
had to,
pregnant at
no,
19.
you're very right. Yeah.
She made it
So,
further than that.
yeah,
So we were not recycling the same
no.
experience.
Mm-hmm.
She created her own experience, which really is a reflection on you giving her a good solid foundation, right?
True,
In
true.
order for her to make sure that she
Yes,
have a good
yes,
foundation in
yes.
order
So
to
my
create
mom kind of
scale.
reminded me of that. You've
Yes.
done the best you can. She's 24 now. And then just to prove it even more, just to show that it was not a cycle, she stayed with this guy. And the second child is actually with the same guy.
Oh, good for
So
her.
I guess she did break what I thought at that point was a cycle of being a single mom.
Yeah.
Because
And I
she's
think it
still
was more about
together
you,
with a person. They live together now with their two kids.
and they're raising their babies.
There. So yeah,
You're
yeah. So I
enjoying
think all
the
that made it better. Let me put it that way.
yep.
All that did
Awesome.
make it better, yes. But yeah, that was quite a transformation for me. I just never even imagined being a
You're like in my
grandmother.
40s. I'm still
Yeah,
feeling
exactly.
in the
So
club. In
I
my
had not even imagined it. But when it happened, oh my God, I love that little boy. That is, everyone knows that that's my heart, that's my life. Funny enough, when it actually happens, there's just a switch in you where
yes.
it's amazing. It really is amazing. And my mom always used to tell me, like, "Oh, do you know, there's something about grandkids. You love them more than your kids." And I used to think my mom is crazy. She talks too much. And when it happened to me, that's exactly how
Exactly
it
what
is. Even my
happened.
daughter right now, she's always like, "Mom, I know you don't care about me anymore. As long as these two are fine." I'm like, exactly.
My goodness. Well, I mean, it is. I'm glad you that reconciliation, and I think uh, before you see the physical product, baby, right?
Hmm.
It's all you're just playing with the mind part of things.
Yes.
You know the baby's coming, but I think the physical product does do something.
It
But for
really
me,
does. It just brings so much joy. And
and it melts
then
away all the
yes,
years.
yes. And it also just, that's when you actually start seeing that blessing that my mom spoke about, that it's a blessing. And that's when you start realizing that, you know what, not everybody gets to see their grandkids. So you start, yeah, once they are there, your whole mindset changes and you actually realize how blessed you are.
Yes, yes. Mindset is the
Yeah.
biggest thing.
Yeah, it's
I
the mindset. You're so right.
It's mindset. I am straddling
Mm-hmm.
between. I don't think I want to be a grandparent yet, but then at the same time, I'm jealous about people like
People,
you who
yes. I
just
I don't
just
think it's something you ever actually ready for. I don't think it's something you actually sit and say, yeah, now okay, I'm ready. I
I
don't think so, to be honest.
don't think I am. I don't think I am. I'm like I'm too young to be anybody's.
Exactly, exactly. So, but once
Then
it
I
happens, you realize that the mind just switches.
oh, that is beautiful. That is beautiful.
Yeah.
So I'm Sydney. If you're listening, yeah, I'm okay for now. That's so you brought up your mom. I know we talked about your mom when we met.
Yes.
And, I know she's passed and the tragic circumstances surrounding that. What do you want to share about that relationship and really the way I think it forces all of us to kind of grow up very quickly, much
Yes.
quicker in some ways, because when mom is there, we can always lean back and, we don't fully have to grow up. But
That's true.
happen, you had to put on your big girl shoes.
Yeah.
So just share a little bit about mom and
Yeah, look, wow, where do I start? One thing about my mom, she definitely showed unconditional love. especially towards me or to her children. Generally, my mom was just a very loving person. Her nickname was even Dr. Love. She
That's
really, my
beautiful.
mom loved like that.
Embodied love.
Yeah, I actually think she had a calling to just love people. So, but she really, really showed me unconditional love. What is unconditional love? No matter what I did, that woman just, she just loved me, And it took me a very long time to realize it. Of course, in my teenage years, I thought, this one, she doesn't want to see me flourish,
See, exactly, exactly. She doesn't want to
you
see
know.
me shine.
Yeah. But as I got older and had my own child now, my own daughter now, that's when I started actually appreciating her and seeing that no man, this is a true definition of unconditional love. And yeah, like you are saying, you're not fully grown as long as your mom is there because I could just fall back on her for anything and everything. Things go tough, you just go back to mom's house. She was just always there for me, no matter what. So it's a gap that I feel and I know I'll always feel that mom is no longer there. Because yeah, the mothers really make that difference. They really do.
Yeah,
And I think sometimes I feel like, am I being the same kind of mom my mom was to me, to my own daughters?
she set a standard for you.
Yeah, but sometimes I feel I'm failing it. I feel I'm not meeting that standard. But and then on the other hand, you also realize, look, you're also just doing the best you can.
You can only be the best you
You
can
can
be.
only be the best you can. And one thing my mom also taught me was you don't she said it in Shona, "Mwana awumbwe," meaning they're not pottery that you design and I want it this way, I want it that way. You know what I'm saying?
The features that you
Yeah,
want
they
on.
also grow up to have their own characters, their own personalities. So, but all in all, she taught me a lot. And she, like I said, for me, the biggest thing was the unconditional love. And yeah, when you mentioned how our parents were also trying to navigate
A new
new
world.
cultures.
Hmm.
Yeah, so I'd never even thought of it that way. Because I remember when I was in junior school, when we started living in Eastleigh,
Hmm.
all our neighbors were white
Yeah.
and they had kids as well, you know. And I remember we used to play with these kids. So my parents always had to make sure we were like the white kids. When the white kids had bicycles, we also had to have
You
bicycles, you
also had
know?
bicycles. Keeping up
Yeah,
with the
so
Joneses. Come on now.
so we would play with these kids, would ride out on the street and stuff like that. And the one thing that I remember, which I now see as I've gotten older, that no, not what I thought was the norm, was these white kids would write letters to Father Christmas every Christmas time, you know? And we would do it as well. I would also write letters to Father Christmas and
Because
put my
that's what
list of
was
what I want for
expected.
Christmas.
Yes.
And of course, I'll give it to my mom and all, because remember, like they were now also trying to fit in.
Uh huh. Uh huh.
My mom would say to me, "Oh, let me see your letter. Let me see if Father Christmas can read what you wrote."
What you wrote. Uh huh.
Yes. Meanwhile, she wanted to see what I had on the list
What you
so that she
asking?
would get it for me for Christmas. So yeah, and like I say, at that point to me, that was very normal.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whereas when I look back now, even with some of my age mates, they're like, really, Trish? I'm like, seriously, guys,
Huh?
I went through
It's
that. So
it's
yeah, it's
growing up too, and now as adults, as you said, being in the same spaces, right, with these different backgrounds. Like we
with
were
the
all
different backgrounds, that's when you really see how different your background really is.
Right. And
Yeah.
I've come to those like some of those conversations as well where you're like, wait, so this wasn't normal for you?
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Or like, what do you? Or they say, "Oh, remember when we had to go to school like this?" And I'm like,
I'm
"No,
like,
I had
I don't
never
remember.
experienced that."
Which I think is why, as Zimbabweans, we always, you know, how when you meet new people, the first question is usually, where did you go to school? And I
Mm,
think that normally sets a tone,
it does. It really does.
have that conversation, like how that conversation is going to go from there, or how your relationship might, which is kind of sad in a
No,
way.
it's true. It's actually a very true reality.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. We
And
kind of
that's
have to,
just all right. That's always the first thing, hey? What school did you go to?
uh-huh,
And then
because I
from
want to know
there,
how we're going to relate at this point. Are we,
yeah, and then things kind of like change, shift. They take a shift from at that point.
which is really kind of sad. And it
Yeah.
it's going to sound bad coming from us, right? Because of our background and the fact that we relate. I would love to have somebody on who didn't have the same background, and to kind of see
Mm,
where do we come together on that, because we
mm,
shouldn't be separated by something that somebody else brought in and made it seem like it's the norm. Because we have so much more in common than those things separate that are said to separate us.
yes.
But yeah, all right. Well,
That
enough
is
with.
so true, actually. That is so true.
So, what are you looking forward to 50 on? What is there 50 and beyond for Trish when we talk again in 10 years?
Oh, girl, I am looking to be able to retire
Yes.
at an age where I still feel good, still have energy, and just to still be able to travel,
And run around
and just, I
babies.
just really hope and pray that I will have that opportunity to just enjoy life without the pressures of work.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's my biggest thing now.
And the stress of day to day living. Like you
Yeah,
just want
yeah.
to
Just
live without the stresses.
yes.
Okay.
That's what I'm really looking forward to.
So, this is the one thing that I ask all my guests. What would you tell today as you're looking forward to this big milestone? What would you tell your 21-year-old self?
Um, what I would have told myself, yeah, what would I tell myself? You know, think before you act.
Mm,
Really think about what you're about to do, the how this can actually affect you.
mhm,
I would also tell myself to have worked harder
mm,
because I think also having that background of just having everything kind of like always made me feel life would always be easy.
So it was like a false safety net.
Yes. And then when
Yes.
reality actually hits, like, not really, eh? So I think I tended, and I'm talking about me personally, hey? I think I tended to take things very lightly. I could have done a lot of things better, or uh, could have worked harder, could have studied harder, could have, those are the things I look back now, like, no, I could have actually done better. So yeah, that's why I say I would have told my 21-year-old, work harder, study harder. This is the time in your life when you actually set up your life.
Okay.
Yeah.
Understanding
Yeah.
what that age means.
Hmm.
Okay. Well, Trish, thank you so, so much for sharing with us. This was fun. I really did enjoy getting to know you a lot better. As I said, we did meet earlier this year in January, and I hope our plans for the year pan out, right? We are supposed to
Yeah.
be meeting again. So hopefully something happens soon where we
I'm
do.
praying for that miracle.
It will happen. It will
I
happen.
really hope it does, but I really do.
It will happen, but I
Mm.
really am happy you chose today to sit down and chat with me.
Oh, thank you too. I really appreciate. And what, sorry, I have to ask you this. Why did you think I was not born in 1975? I thought we had this conversation when
But
we
we
met.
did, but I think I don't. I think I was thinking. I don't. I honestly don't know why. Because I think it's Kudzi. Kudzi's the one who wasn't born in 1975.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
What
I
did
don't
Kuzi say?
know.
She said 76.
I think so. I think she's either 76 or 77. She might be a year or two
Okay.
younger than us. So I think she's the one. And I don't know why I totally muddled those up. But no, no, no. You could be my womb mate for all we know. Because
That
we're almost
was,
December, right?
yes, no, yes. I'm in December. Yeah. Early December.
Yep. So
Early December. And
yeah, but
since January, starting with Beryl herself, I've watched people turn 50.
been incredible. Like for
I
Beryl,
know.
turned 50, got married,
Yeah,
just
I thought that was one of the
those two
best
milestones together.
yeah, best way to celebrate her 50th, eh?
That was amazing.
Yeah, that was amazing.
Was
So
amazing.
yeah.
But no, thank you so much for spending your evening with me, and I can't wait for us to chat again.
No, definitely. That was really fun. It also had me thinking and reminiscing.
I love it. I love
Yeah,
it.